Oh, man, thought Bab. Animal Mummies in my bedroom. But that would turn out to be the least of his worries. Chapter 2. The Blushing Jackal. Canis the Jackal shivered. He'd lit every one of his torches and candles, but tonight his tomb was colder than death itself. "Oh, what one wouldn't give for a cosy cape," he moaned. While Canis's voice was posh and silky, his precious clothes were anything but. They lay in tatters, thanks to some nasty moth business. Now, Canis had only his own jackal fur to warm him. "Even my glorious fur has turned patchy," he complained, "ever since I accidentally applied fur removal cream in that ghastly cat mummy's salon. Bah! The drafts!" He tried to stuff his missing fur patches with sand, but that only made him itchy. With dread, Canis realized why it was so chilly. It wasn't because the desert grew cold at night. No, this icy air could mean only one thing. His mistress was devising one of her appalling plans. Every time the Unpharaoh plotted, the temperature in the real world seemed to plummet. People didn't know it, but whenever they shivered from cold, it meant the ancient sorceress was brooding over dark thoughts. Canis jumped as the vast stone wall across the room made an eerie noise. "Neb, nebba, neb, neb," rang the wall. Canis padded over and swiped a patchy paw across it to answer the call. The wall worked like a huge video screen, only it was magic. A gorgeous scene of palm trees and a huge swimming pool appeared before him, spoiled by the hideous face looming in the foreground. The face of the Unpharaoh. She looked all of her 4,000 years, and then some. Her elephant skin was riddled with yellow and grey cracks. Her red eyes glowed with hatred, and two black fangs jutted over her crusty lip. "Your majestic majesty of majesties," Canis fawned, bowing as low as he could. This morning he'd even dug a hole in the floor so he could bow lower. He jammed his pointy face into the hole. Canis hoped the Unpharaoh wouldn't guess the other reason he'd dug the face hole. It was to hide the blush that appeared on his face every time he gazed upon his beloved mistress. No matter how scary she was, Canis adored her, and his patches of missing fur meant the colour of his skin was now on show. "How do you do on this mild and balmy evening?" Canis asked, shivering with cold. His trembling voice was muffled as he spoke into the face-hole. He couldn't see a thing.
"I'm brooding over dark thoughts,"
replied the leathery face on the wall. "What a lovely way to spend a Sunday," said Canis, his face still in the hole. One of his back legs began to twitch with fear. "What are you thinking of? Cupcakes, perhaps? Pretty little birds tweeting melodies by the duck pond?"
"Revenge,"
the Unpharaoh hissed.
"I'm thinking of bitter revenge on the boy."
"Oh, let me help your greatness. Shall I disguise myself as Bab Sharkey again? Or turn you into a moth mummy again? I'm very confident about those ideas."
"Those ideas failed, you four-legged nincompoop,"
the Unpharaoh snapped.
"Now look me in the eye. I've been recalling the days of my childhood, Canis. 4,000 years gone. Did I ever tell you where I learned my frightful spells?"
Canis shook his pointy head. "I've not had the pleasure of this jolly tale, your superbness." The Unpharaoh snorted mist from her nose. It whooshed from the wall into Canis's hall and blossomed into a cloud. Scenes from ancient times appeared on the cloud. Canis saw a man and a woman, dressed in wonderful woven robes. Beside them was a small, brown-eyed girl.
"My father and mother were wealthy, Canis,"
said the Unpharaoh.
"So rich they were part of Pharaoh's court, the people in charge of Egypt. I too wanted to learn the ways of the powerful, but in those days only boys were allowed to attend the prince's school. So I snuck into the entrance exam and topped the class. It wasn't very hard. The boys were ninnies."
The Unpharaoh flicked her twiggy fingers and the scene changed. Now the small girl was surrounded by other children. They sat in a classroom writing the little pictures that Egyptians called hieroglyphs. The girl finished first, proudly waving her papyrus in the air.
The teachers scoffed. They said a mere girl like me could never reach the very top, could never become Pharaoh.